The next step in the process is to define the content for your website. There's actually a number of different steps in this. First, we would need that content to match with your other marketing messaging. You really need alignment between all of your communication with your prospective customers and existing customers. You really, all the messaging that comes out of your company needs to sound like it's coming from one place. So step one, look at all of your other marketing messaging and understand that context. Next, we figure out what content do we need to include on the website to compel your visitors to take those actions that we defined in project strategy definition. So if we want someone to sign up for your, to receive your ebook, what do we need to tell them to entice them into making that exchange? They give us their email address, we give them a free ebook. Now we have a relationship that we can start a conversation. So the question is, what content do we need to feed them to get them to do that? Then next, how do we structure that content? In the WordPress environment, we're talking about pages versus posts, what goes in the sidebar content, what custom post types we might create. It's a little nerdy and technical, but basically, if we were a theater, a custom post type might be shows. It's a repeatable piece of content that has similar regular fields. So a show would have a title and a description, that's obvious, but also a show date and a start time. And the advantage of building a custom post type, of course, is so that when you're adding these in the future on your website, you don't have to remember what are the 12 things I have to post with every show. You just fill out the fields. And furthermore, how does that display on the front end? You don't have to do it manually. You fill out the fields, and we design the site so that the front end display is always consistent and always the same. That leads us to the site architecture, which is both the technical, how are we going to structure the content in a data sense, as well as how does that weave together on the front end. A good visual for me is to picture the website like a rope. So you've got a multi-stranded rope. At one end is all fused and tidy, like you would have an end of a rope at a store. That's your homepage. That's where all the ends of those strands all are in one place. And a well-crafted homepage has an entry point for each of those journeys that you want a different visitor to go on. So a new customer will choose a different path than an existing customer. Maybe people with different personality types will choose one path versus another. And it's our job to create these paths and put all the starting points on the homepage. And then as those threads go in different directions, you need a continuous path for them to follow. The assumption being, the false assumption being, visitors on your website will know what to do. They'll just kind of browse around and read what they need to read, and then they'll call you and buy from you. That's really not true. If you conceive of your website in terms of the journey that a visitor is going to take, you can lead them one step at a time, read the piece of content they need on the homepage, click that button. Then go to the next page, read what they need there. The next call to action, maybe another split, maybe just another step forward. This is what we're weaving is feed a bit of content, take an action. Feed a bit of content, take an action. The theory being you weave all those together like rope. They start on the homepage, they end up where they need to be, and there are no dead ends. So when a visitor gets to the end of a piece of content or the end of a page, they should never just get to the end of the page and then find a link that says back to top. How many times have you seen that? Thank you for reading my whole page. Now click this, go back to the main menu, and good luck. No, what you want to do is take someone, tell them what they need to know, then give them the action that they need to take next. That's called your call to action. Typically a button, but it could be any number of things. So content definition starts with understand the context of the rest of your marketing and messaging so that we're in alignment with that. What do we need to include to get users to take actions? And then how do we weave those journeys so that they all start on the homepage or landing pages and end up at a conversion point where we want them to take that final action to achieve the goals to get the strategic value out of the website that we've created.